We are about to start editing, or continue finishing editing TV Fights 5. Let's go. First, we have to import the footage, of course. I don't expect myself to or anyone watching or myself to necessarily learn anything new in this pretty slow, kind of typical editing process here. First, let me make sure I have imported everything that I want to. Pretty much, you know. Yeah, pretty much there. Let's see. A few more shots of my pets that I need to import here. Fuck. Selected too many. How do you do shift, right? No, it's not shift. Is it control? It's not control. Is it Windows? Yes, it is Windows key. Yeah, I'm just gonna download some of this footage of my pets into iPhoto. Then I can go ahead and format this card after I import it. Yeah. All right. Bet. Yeah, dude. Heck yes, dude. Doesn't that look so satisfying? We have 5735 all the way to 5753 to 5784. That's a lot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. Hopefully I don't need to reshoot anything more. Hopefully I said everything I wanted to. If not, I can always go back. Camera's right there. The hair still looks good. And no, yeah. Okay, dude. Yes, sir. All right. Essentially, yes. Yeah, I wanted to live stream myself doing this so that I don't get, think about all the different possibilities of what I could be doing right now, like thinking about the next TV fights. No, let me finish editing this one thing at a time. All right. I'm a little bit scared if I don't know how I like how this starts. What's this?
When Tuco kidnaps Walt and Jesse, you get some really humanizing lines from Tuco, like, you can't. The show first typically balances three different plot lines. You have Walt making meth with Jesse, then you have Walt and his home life, and third you have his teaching career, where he gets to be kind of educational towards the audience, as well as Hank doing a kind of rat race, piecing together clues about what Walt is up to, doing a kind of rat race.
More like a cat and mouse chase, I should have said. Can I import that? Cat and mouse chase. And mouse chase.
Then you have Walt and his home life, and third you have his teaching career, rat race, piecing together, doing a kind of
cat and mouse chase. Great.
You have Walt making meth with Jesse. Then you have Walt and his home life, and third you have his teaching career, where he gets to be kind of educational towards the audience, as well as Hank doing a kind of
cat and mouse chase,
piecing together, doing a kind of
I like how it sounds a little different. Cat and mouse chase.
Piecing together clues, doing a
cat and mouse chase.
Piecing together clues about what Walt is up to. WW. Woodrow Wilson, Willy Wonka, Walter White. You got me. Just amazing, amazing, amazing.
Oh shit, it imported, yeah.
I've always been so impressed with the way they were able to tell this story in a 1 to 2 year time span. The second to last episode is literally about 11 months. Rewatching it this time around, the first thing I was blown away with was the placement of purple all around the Schrader household. Marie isn't the only one that regularly wears purple. Hank, Walt, Skylar also do wear purple a lot. It's so badass, that moment when Walter buys Junior the Challenger. That incredible moment where Hank and Marie are watching.
Yeah, I'll look at all that footage a little later. Let's focus on what I filmed this morning.
I love the way Joey and Jesse become business partners, where they get to channel their inner funny and rhythmic sensibilities into these jingles.
I should have said advertising partners.
There's so many great musical and stand-up moments on the show because these were very talented actors in their medium. I love the way Joey and Jesse become
advertising
business partners.
Advertising. Advertising
partners.
I'm not very good with ADR, but it's necessary. Advertising.
And Jesse become
advertising
partners, where they get to channel their inner funny, and Jesse become
advertising
partners, where they get to channel their inner funny and rhythmic sensibilities into these jingles. There's so many great musical and stand-up moments on the show because these were very talented actors in their medium.
I have a little lint over here. Fuck. It's okay. Can't do anything about it now.
Joey and Jesse. I love the way Joey and Jesse become
advertising
partners, where they get to channel their inner funny and rhythmic sensibilities into these jingles. And twins continued to be pretty solid actors, like with their show So Little Time, which was all right. But I would have to say that Stephanie was But I would have to say that that's definitely I have to.
Definitely. Definitely.
But I would have to agree that definitely had the best. I would have to agree that definitely had the best comedic.
I said Stephanie. It's Stephanie.
But I would have to agree that definitely had the best comedic timing in the first few seasons out of all the kids.
Do I keep that and I put like an asterisk that says Stephanie?
But I would have to agree that definitely had the. But I would have to say definitely had.
Why did I say Stephanie?
That sounds so weird. But I would have to say Stephanie definitely. That sounds weird off the tongue. But I would have to say Stephanie.
There we go. I said it once.
Talented actors in their medium. Stephanie definitely. That sounds. But I would have to say Stephanie. But I would have to agree that definitely.
I said Stephanie and I didn't realize.
Definitely had the best. Definitely had the best. Stephanie definitely had the best. I'm gonna say Stephanie definitely had the best comedic timing in the first few. Stephanie definitely had the best comedic. Stephanie definitely had the best comedic timing. Stephanie definitely had the best comedic timing in the first few seasons out of all the kids. Big shout out to Dave Coulier for always being a proponent for clean comedy. And big shout out to Dave Coulier for always being a proponent for the importance of clean comedy. I love the moments where Joey gets to stand up for himself, like when he has to ground DJ or has to show Jesse that his ideas are really good.
Let me add a mark so I know where to add B-roll. I have to add B-roll with the hairline.
The best comedic timing in the first few actors in their medium. Stephanie definitely. That sounds weird off the tongue, but I would have to say Stephanie definitely had the best.
56.
And through his knowledge, ends up doing something big. Watch. I love how Jesse and Joey choose to stay at the Tanner house so that they can watch.
No. 56.
But the Olsen twins continued to be pretty solid actors, like with their show So Little Time, which was all right. But I would have to say that Stephanie was Olsen twins continued to be pretty solid actors, but I would have to say that Stephanie was But I would have to say Stephanie was all right. Actors in their medium. Stephanie definitely. The Olsen twins continued to be pretty solid actors, like for himself, like when he has to ground DJ or has to show Jesse that his ideas are really good. John Stamos' Uncle Jesse always felt like the ultimate alpha male. I love remembering how John Stamos' Uncle Jesse always felt like the ultimate alpha male to me. John Stamos' Uncle Jesse always felt like the ultimate alpha male to me. There's literally moments where it's his first time appearing on screen in the episode. He just has some normal, regular lines to his nieces, and he's just entering the scene. And you can hear in the background, like 5 different women audience members are going like, "Woo! Ow!" I guess that is the level of aura that John Stamos absolutely deserves. Alpha male to me. There's literally moments where it's his first time appearing on screen in the episode. He just has some normal, regular lines to his nieces, and he's just entering the scene. And you can hear in the background, like, it's frustrating to see episodes that have the potential. It's frustrating when I see that episodes have the potential to do more, and instead they lean into being more cutesy and boring.
Fuck, why is this red? Come on. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Why?
This is what gives us the sense of pure escapism in other sitcoms. And truthfully, many sitcoms that came after.
Fuck, I'm actually gonna close out of it because I don't want this to be red. And if it is red, then I have to, and this is red too, 68. This is red here. Shit. This is no good. How the fuck did that happen? Come on now. Okay, let me close out and reopen it. What tasks that are currently in progress? It just said that everything was imported, you fucking goddamn. Ugh, I'm so lost now. Why were those screens red? I'm sure that was just a mistake that happens before where it comes back to normal after I reopen it. Let's really hope so. Not you, DaVinci. Not you, DaVinci Resolve. Please stop. What is this? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good. No need to be frustrated. Everything is cool. Everything is as it should be. Enjoy the process.
Cutesy and boring. Full House works best when it's balancing fun, energy, seriousness. Full House works best when the episodes are balancing fun, energy, laughter, and seriousness. What else was I going to say? This is what gives us the sense of pure escapism in other sitcoms. And truthfully, many sitcoms that came after Full House failed to nail this perfected formula.
Yeah. I love myself for how I love television.
Full House just has a rhythm and cadence like no other show. Full House just has a rhythm and cadence like no other show. It just has a rhythm and cadence like no other show.
Let's do that. 7 minutes in. I'm so proud of myself. And 23 minutes left. I'm so proud of myself.
The main ensemble always feels wet. The main ensemble always feels very well fleshed out. It's such a delight to always go back to. I love how Jesse and Joey choose to stay at the Tanner house so that they can watch. I love how Jesse and Joey stay at the Tanner house mainly for the small victories of seeing the girls learn new things. I love that Jesse and Joey continue to stay at the Tanner house mainly because of the small victories of seeing the girls learn new things such as karate. Continue to stay at the Tanner house because of the. I love that Jesse karate, singing, or potty training.
Does that look a bit quiet? No, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Season 1 was trying to lean in more towards this bachelor lifestyle. Season 1 was gonna lean more towards the bachelor lifestyle, as all 3 of the men were single by this point. That with raising kids. Seasons 1 through 4 used to always be my favorites. They have such a natural.
Natural what?
1 through 4 were always my favorite. They have such a natural self-awareness.
Yeah, perfect.
With raising kids. Seasons 1 through 4 were kids. Seasons 1 through 4. Just got a few more points to make, and then I'm almost done. Few more points to make, and then I'm almost done.
That's beautiful, Pratik. Save that some shit. I was gonna plan on doing this earlier. I'm gonna make a project called Making of Road to TV Fights. Yes,
was my favorite. They have such a natural self-awareness. And then I'm almost done. And just got a few more.
Copy, cut, and paste. Edit, paste. Yep. Let's get it. Whoa. Why isn't it showing any of these bad boys out here? No. So when this happens, that means I have to import it differently. At least it's only 4 of them. So let me go back into iPhoto and go ahead and import. Is there no way of knowing which fucking ones? Oh wait, there is a way of knowing. I go to DC, I go to files. Yeah. All right, bro. Which ones do I need? 5764. 5764 is right here. Yay. Where's the first 5764? Right here.
Gives us the sense of pure escapism. Full House just has a rhythm and cadence like no other show. And truthfully, many sitcoms that came after Full House failed to nail this perfected formula.
Move to trash.
Full House just has a rhythm and cadence like no other show. The main ensemble, Full House just has a the main ensemble.
Okay, good.
And truthfully, this is what gives us the sense of pure escapism in other sitcoms.
Yeah. All right, next one is 5772, which is right here. Let me just replace that bad boy. 5772. Import that again. All right, I missed 5768. Delete that. 5768, move to trash. 5768 right here.
Just got dialogue comes so naturally in the show. The dialogue comes so naturally in these episodes. The dialogue comes so naturally in these episodes. However, sometimes it might feel like it's not taking enough risks. I also love the way the show glamorized an artistic basement work from home environment that becomes the crux of it. And so many times they talk about dedication, working hard, never giving up towards things like goals. That becomes the crux of the character's motivations. And so many times they talk about the character's motivations.
Yeah, I don't need that part.
That becomes the crux of a basement work from home environment. In the episodes, I love the way the family all chimes in on the same problems with their bold and differing opinions.
Very strong.
With their bold, differing opinions. With their bold, differing opinions. With their bold and differing opinions.
Bold and differing is fine.
These episodes also typically balance three different plots. Like,
oh, the last one I need to import is 5775. 5775.
I also love the way the show glamorized an artistic basement work from home environment. And so many times they talk about dedication, working hard.
Where's delete? Ironic that there's no delete option when you left click. You just have to click backspace pretty much. How do I go from 5769 to 5771? Whatever.
Goals. In a lot of the episodes, I love the way the family all chimes in on the same problems with their bold and differing opinions. These episodes also typically balance three different plots, like following around Michelle. I like when she adopts her dad's need for equality.
All right, 5775. I should import. Here we go. Delete that.
And I love the way the show BoJack Horseman literally, when he's just going along with it, is absolutely chilling when you think about it. That creepy pasta theory where Michelle is just a figment of Danielle. That creepy pasta theory. That creepy pasta theory. That creepy pasta theory about how. That creepy pasta theory about how. That creepy pasta theory where Michelle is just a figment of Danny Tanner's imagination after the traumatic loss of his wife, and the rest of the family is just going along with it, is absolutely chilling when you think about it.
I feel like I can take out the word traumatic.
A figment of Danny Tanner's imagination after the traumatic loss of his wife, and the rest of the family just going along with it after the loss of his wife. After the loss of his wife, and the rest of the family just going along with it, is absolutely chilling when you think about it. And I love the way the show BoJack Horseman paid tribute to the dark downfalls of some of these characters. Through a lens of metafiction. The setup feels so effortless. Someone that knows nothing about the drug game through his knowledge of chemistry, and through his knowledge ends up being someone really important. And through his knowledge ends up doing something big. There's a line about this in El Camino. Effortless. The setup feels so effortless. Someone that knows nothing about the drug game through his knowledge of chemistry, and through his knowledge ends up and through his knowledge at the drug game, he encourages Jesse to find them a new big distributor. He encourages Jesse to find them a big distributor so that they can get more reward for their risk. He encourages Jesse to find them a big distributor so that he can get more reward for his risk. He encourages Jesse to find them a big distributor so that they can get more reward for their risk.
Both are good. I'm gonna go with the first one. They look fine. What's different about the second one?
He encourages Jesse to find them a big distributor so that he can get more reward for his risk.
That take was fine, but this is better.
Walt having to make up lies to cover up his meth making, it balances humor so intensely. Intense moments with some humor.
I already said the word intense, so I was like kind of consciously avoiding that.
The show can balance humor so naturally. Walt having to make up lies to cover up his meth making, it balances his humor so intense. Make up lies to cover up his meth making. Great use of flashback with Hank's ride along idea from episode 1. He is smarter than you, he is luckier than you.
Wow, 8 minutes so far. And I still have a lot of editing to do. How long have I been editing? I should have set a timer. It has to be less than 30 minutes, as it says on the live stream. I'm gonna set a timer. Not sure when I started. I want to say like 5 minutes in. Let's go.
I got super lucky that Lydia sat at the right desk to be able to use the Ricin Splenda packet, to be able to use the Ricin sugar packet. Bob got super lucky that Lydia sat at the right desk to be able to use the desk.
I'm gonna use B-roll for this.
My only criticism, if I have any, with the show is that maybe the stuff with the neo-Nazis felt a little shoehorned in. Still made for incredible payoff with the... But at least it had another reference to that rowing away painting. But at least it had that... But it's for incredible payoff with the... Still made for incredible payoff. I love how conflicted I feel about the moment where Walt kills Jack. He's not going to be able to find the other $69 million. Yet he gets to satisfyingly shoot Jack in the head. But he gets to satisfyingly shoot Jack in the head mid-sentence like he did to Hank.
Oh, so good. 9 minutes? 9 minutes of TV fights footage? And I have 6 minutes left?
Shoot Jack in the head.
I should be proud of myself. I should. How much do I have left? How many more clips do I have left? From 82 to 84. 82 to 84, that's it? It looks like a lot. I wish I knew how to zoom out right here. Why is 5753 all the way here?
John Stamos argues that there is no one main character on the show, which is pretty agreeable. I love the way the show never makes its lessons. I love the way, for the most part, the show never makes its lessons feel forced. I love the way, for the most part, the show never makes its lessons feel forced. And for the most part, I love the way the show never makes its lessons feel forced.
I got a lot of rearranging to do.
The way the show...
You can see this is 53.
I love the way the show is pretty agreeable. I love the way Joey and Jesse start being advertising. I love the way Joey and Jesse start to be advertising partners, where they get to channel their inner funny and rhythmic sensibilities into very talented jingles.
I already said that.
Into jingles that really show off their talents. Into jingles. I love that. Into these jingles. I love when they get to show off their talents. The show has so many great musical and stand-up comedy moments. Talented jingles.
I'm pretty sure I did this already. Why is 53 and 54 all the way here when it's up here?
John Stamos argues that there is no one main character on the show. These last 8 episodes of Breaking Bad absolutely feel like the masterclass of the totality of television.
Hey, yo.
Felina wins.
What am I looking at?
So which one do I like better? The reason I chose Dr. It's frustrating when I see that episodes have the potential to do more timing in the first few seasons out of all the kids. And big shout out to Dave Coulier. The way Joey and Jesse become advertising partners, where they get... I love the way Joey and Jesse become advertising partners, where they get to channel their inner funny and rhythmic sensibilities into these jingles. There's so many great musical... There's so many great... great musical and stand-up moments on the show because these were very talented actors in their medium.
All right, this might need to be replaced with, as we saw earlier.
I love the way Joey and Jesse become advertising partners, where they send the chemistry and Jesse's role is 100% the distribution. So many great musical, Stephanie did a little time, which was all right. The reason I chose Dr. Dare Rides Again is because I found it. The reason I chose Dr. Dare Rides Again is because there's a newfound appreciation rewatching it all these years later. I used to not like this episode along with most of season 3 when I was younger. All these years later. Rewatching it all these years later. I used to not like this episode along with most of season 3 when I was younger. The reason I chose Dr. Dare Rides Again is because I found the reason I chose. So which one do I like better? I used to not like this episode as much when I was younger. This time around, it just hit all the right notes. It was very special. Around, it just hit all the right notes. Rewatching it all these years later. I used to not like this episode a lot. The reason I chose Dr. Dare Rides Again is because there's a newfound appreciation rewatching it all these years later. I used to not like this episode along with most of season 3 when I was younger. This time around, it just hit all the right notes. Episode as much when I was younger. It was very special. What an amazing feel-good episode where 2/3 of it is iconic singing from John Stamos. What an iconic episode. What an amazing feel-good episode where 2/3 of it. What an amazing feel-good episode.
Keep that for now. I'm sure I said it better later.
What an iconic episode where 2/3 of it is John Stamos singing with his feel-good episode. What a feel-good episode with John Stamos singing to his nieces with his friends for 2/3 of the episode. John Stamos singing to his nieces with his, then him thinking he can do a dangerous stunt without a helmet. It hits all the right notes. What a feel-good episode with John Stamos singing to his nieces with his friends for 2/3 of the episode. Then him thinking he can do a dangerous stunt without of it is iconic episode. What an amazing feel-good episode. What a feel-good episode with John Stamos singing to his nieces with John Stamos singing to his nieces with of it is iconic singing from John Stamos. Feel-good episode. Feel-good episode. This time around, it just hit all the right notes. What an amazing feel-good episode. What an amazing feel-good episode where 2/3 of it is iconic singing from John Stamos. What an iconic episode with John Stamos singing to his nieces with his friends for 2/3 of the episode. Then him thinking he can do a dangerous stunt without a helmet. It hits all the right notes. The reason I chose Dr. Dare Rides Again is because there's a newfound appreciation rewatching it all these years later. I used to not like this episode along with most of season 3 when I was younger. This time around, it just hit all the right notes. What an amazing feel-good episode with John Stamos singing to his nieces with his friends for 2/3 of the episode. Then him thinking he can do a dangerous stunt without a helmet. It hits all the right notes. That being said, of course there's moments relatable to all ages. It does a great job feeling realistic and relatable to all ages. That being said, of course, no show or movie is ever perfect. There's of course going to be some decisions where you're like, oh, I would have cut to this shot of these characters reacting this way to these other characters telling them this information. That being said, these last 8 or so episodes of Breaking Bad feel like the absolute masterclass of the totality of television. Both episodes have been a 10 out of 10. Both episodes Both episodes and both TV programs and these episodes are 10 out of 10s to me. Felena. Both TV programs and episodes have been a 10 out of 10 experience rewatching them. Programs. Both TV programs and a lot of episodes. Both TV programs and rewatching a lot of episodes after years have been 10 out of 10 experiences for me. 10 out of 10 experience rewatching them. Breaking Bad's Felena did have a more conscious. Breaking Bad experiences for me very recently. But Breaking Bad's Felena did have a more stronger impact. But Breaking Bad's Felena had the same impact since day one.
Is that good?
But Breaking Bad's Felena did have the perfect impact for me since day one. I predicted that Walt would die in the last episode back then, but Breaking Bad's Felena did have the perfect impact for me since day one. I predicted that Walt would die in the last episode back then, so it was satisfying to see. Bryan Cranston even said that Bryan Cranston actually said that he doesn't think Walter died in the final episode, and a lot of people might think that. Bryan Cranston actually said that he doesn't.
Could one of these be a thumbnail, maybe? Or the one that I chose is probably good.
These final 8 episodes of Breaking Bad absolutely feel like the totality of television. These last 8 episodes of Breaking Bad absolutely feel like the masterclass of the totality of television. Felena wins. Hope you guys have a good one. See you next time. John Stamos argues that there is no one main character on the show, which is pretty agreeable. And for the most part, I love the way the show never makes its lessons feel forced. Is the camera adjusting accordingly? Kind of. Love the way Joey and Jesse started being advertising. I love the way Joey and Jesse start to be advertising partners, where they get to channel their inner funny and rhythmic sensibilities into very talented jingles. I love when they get to show off their talents. The show has so many great musical and stand-up comedy moments. I love when they get to show off their talents. The show has so many great musical and stand-up comedy moments. That's because these actors were so talented. That's because these performers were so talented in their medium. That's because these performers were so talented in their medium. That's because these performers were really talented in. That's because these performers were really talented in their medium.
And that's a wrap, except for some of the edits that need to be made. This might be a thumbnail right here. I'm gonna edit that pretty soon. And yeah, as you can see, I have to dump a bunch of B-roll over some things. Fuck yes, Pratik.
I love when they get to show off their talents. The show has so many great musicals. I love when they get to show off their talents. The show has so many great musical and stand-up comedy moments. I love when they get to show off their talents. The show has so many great musical and stand-up comedy moments.
Would it be funny if I played both at the same time?
That's because these performers were so talented in their medium. That's because
11 minutes. So happy.
I love when they get to show off their talents. The show has so many great musical and stand-up comedy moments. That's because these performers were really talented in their medium. I love when they get to show off their talents. The show has so many great musical and stand-up comedy moments. That's because these performers were really talented in their medium.
Wow. How long has it been? TV Fights 5. I was halfway done before. Shit, these candles look like they're about to dry up. So I'm gonna take a little smoke break. Hopefully I only take like 4 hits of this. Look, this wax is kind of dying, so I'm going to pour some out. There we go. There we go. This is a delicious flavor candle, by the way. What? Pink Lady Peony. Is that how you pronounce it? Peony? It's a type of flower, apparently. I'm gonna try to only take 4 hits here. Quick break. Quick smoke break. We'll call that half a hit. Let me go look for my inhaler. God bless this video. Oh, my throat. Oh, why do I do this to myself? I do have the goal to do 25 push-ups today. And then I'll make it to 300 push-ups this month. I'm at 275. Okay, one more hit. One more good hit. The airflow on this is very tight. Fuck. This is why I hate smoking out of joints. Even though changing it up can get you high. And with each breath, almost getting higher. It's almost where getting high becomes a meant to be type of thing, self-fulfilling prophecy, where I was like, yep, I'm like, even though I'm having the craving to smoke, I'm gonna hold off until I'm done editing. Of course, by done editing, I don't mean putting all the B-roll over it. Whereas previous TV fights and previous Doctor Who fights didn't use any B-roll, just me talking. This one needs the visuals, because yeah, otherwise without the visuals, I would have referenced more Full House episodes, but I think instead it's better to just show it, because it's yeah, I can think clearly enough to be like, if this video was 14 minutes, not that I'm not happy with 11 minutes. 11 minutes, yes, I wanted 8 to 11 minutes for months now. I didn't think it'd be possible even in January. So seeing this right here in real life, right in front of me, that's a mission accomplished. So just randomly thinking, if it was 14 minutes, that would probably be the time I'd spend talking about the plots of other episodes that I like, for example, or other episodes I don't like. For example, I kind of wanted to talk about how when I watched this episode, Joey's Funny Valentine, I thought that episode could have done more. And in fact, that was what I'm going to use for one of the B-roll footage, something from that episode, so that audiences know if they see that clip, they're like, oh yeah, that is an episode that could have been better. If anyone agrees with my opinion. Oh. Whoa, fuck. Sorry for swearing so much. Alright, I'm looking for a painter real quick. Found it. Fook. Frick. Trying my best not to swear. Swear words don't hit my ear right anymore. Used to not really mind them, kind of be desensitized to them, but now I think good people shouldn't really swear. Sometimes it's funny in context, other times it's just ugly. That's just my personal feelings on swearing currently. But used to not care, used to casually say the F word and stuff. But yeah, no. What did I just witness? Oh, I'm pretty happy. Although I am in my mid-20s. One of the things I should be doing is thinking more financially responsibly. My parents are going out of town, like I said, on a vacation from next week, next Friday or Saturday, April 17th or something, for 10 days. So I have the house to myself for 10 days pretty much. Should feel like another spring break, even though I have school and stuff. Just school. But of course, like I said, that's the amount of time I've said before, and I'll try not to say it again. That is the time frame around April 24th to April 28th, where I think it would be great to bulk upload. That being said, the fact that I'm done with TV fights, I almost think releasing it when it's done might just be the best option. It's Friday. It could be done on a Friday night, if not a Saturday night. But yeah, is it still a good idea to hold off on it? Hold off on uploading it? It's practically Friday evening, 4:11 p.m. Where did I go? I went to Five Below. I saw that they had some slime. I expected a store like that to have maybe some better slime options, but they have about 3 different interesting slimes that I would have bought next time I save. Instead, I decided to buy this Bob Ross drink at Five Below. I think about Bob Ross every so often. I was thinking about him earlier that day, so call that a synchronicity. Randomly seeing a Bob Ross product after thinking about him hours before. But yeah, never heard of this. It's called Positive Energy Drink. It has 100 grams of caffeine, and it has 40 grams of sugar and 160 calories. And yeah, it's not for me. At first it tasted, I was like, it kind of reminds me of when you add Torani syrup, blue Torani syrup to Red Bull, like a summertime drink, a fun drink like I used to. At best, at worst, or at best, that is what that cheapness reminded me of. But no, it's giving me kind of a headache. You can very, very much taste the sugar. I can't believe I didn't discover black coffees like hazelnut macchiato. I don't even need to add sugar or cream. It tastes good on its. I can drink it on its own. Hazelnut macchiatos. And that's how I've been able to cut energy drinks out. So yeah, $2 for this actually wasn't worth it. Anyway, what else did I buy? I would have spent that $5 on the slime. Next time I will. That would have been my second choice. My first choice is these pen sets. If you go to like Walgreens, where I get the pens most of the time, it's like $8, $8 to $12 for like 2 to 4 of them. $8 for one sometimes. So $5 for all these liquid gel pens. I was like, yes. I was like, it's too good to pass up. So it would be fun to test the quality of these 12 liquid gel pens. Let me just test the qualities of this. Let me grab my notebook that still has leftover pages. I was looking in Five Below if they have any, but like $1, $2 notebooks, spiral notebooks, but they didn't. Are there pages left in this notebook? Not many. Oh, there's one. But how many pages in this notebook, and why don't I really remember this notebook? Ooh, these are interesting stuff. It says, I agreed to write 20 words a day. Why don't I remember this notebook? Yeah, but looks like it's like half full at least. But found a blank page where I could test this on. And this blank page can also be used as a progress report because it would be nice to be addicted to hard work, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure people have done that for themselves. I've seen I don't know if it's clickbait, but like videos titled How to Be Addicted to Discipline. I believe that can happen. Like how people can be addicted to working out, which I personally don't think I could ever be addicted to working out. First, I'm going to try yellow because I feel like it's the one I'm going to use least. I found out that yellow in Breaking Bad is supposed to represent drugs in general, the drug trade. All right, the first thing Walt sees, one of the things Walt sees when he's zoning out sonically, when he's audibly unavailable, but he knows his doctor's saying he has lung cancer. He looks at his doctor's mustard stain on his suit, the doctor suit, which is yellow, yeah. It all represents drugs. Okay, interesting quality. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna write my name. Okay. Yeah, these are solid pens. These are solid pens for the quality. Now let me test out the color I would most likely use, which is I want to see what green looks like. Feels like I haven't used a green pen in a while. Probably not gonna use red. I'm gonna try green. I'm gonna take out pink. Purple. Yeah, purple should be good. And this shade of blue. Yeah, I'll test out these for now. I'll test out another green while I'm at it. And I'll test out orange. Yeah, I'll test out these bad boys. What should I write? Should I write my name? I'll write TV fights. This is a nice pen. And for $5, it's a nice fit. It doesn't feel like an average pen that I typically pay for at Walgreens. It looks cheaper, of course. That's not necessarily a downside that it looks cheaper. It's a nice fit as a pen. It's a good sell for $5. This set, yeah. TV fights. I'm gonna write done. Yeah. Did I show you what it looks like? Solid quality. Convenient. Yeah. I guess if you're paying for a pen, like a set that these types of pens or better come in, then you will kind of feel the difference, of course. But for what you're paying for, yeah. Anyway, I don't work for Five Below. I'm gonna stop selling it. Just testing the product. Blue, dark blue. What am I gonna write? I wrote TV fights done. I'm gonna write KUWTK because that's gonna be one of the shows I'm reviewing that I'm a little bit apprehensive about talking about. KUWTK. Dice quality. And that's gonna be something that I ponder. I don't love coming back to that show. I don't feel like coming back to that show. But there are things to talk about. Not necessarily knowing if I should care to talk about those things. I do have backup shows in mind if I end up dropping that idea. If I'm really like, nah, I don't want to talk about this show. I almost felt that way with Full House, but as you can see, I found a genuine enjoyment for Full House in recent weeks. Glad I reviewed Full House and Breaking Bad because I hadn't watched both those shows in years, and I didn't say that in this video. Should I go back and like say that? I'd be like, I haven't watched both shows in years, so it felt great reviewing this. I want to put that in the description. I'm gonna write description. I did mention the word rewatch like a few times in this video, so I don't think I need to go back and say that on camera necessarily. I'm not a huge fan of how this color looks. Maybe it's that my handwriting's kind of bad, but yeah. All right, man. Let's try purple. What am I gonna write? Am I gonna write about what I'm gonna do tonight, which is watch movie. Last night I watched Breaking Bad, more of that. Do I want to watch more of that tonight? I watched the first 3 episodes, the pilot, Cats in the Bag and Cats Down the River or something like that, and the Gretchen one, Elliot one. So that's like 4 episodes. And then I watched Face Off, season 4. Because I used to love that finale. And I used to love the season 3 finale. I feel like I already said this. I'm going to write down Breaking Bad. Oh, purple's a great color. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, purple's turning into my favorite color after thinking about it all the time. Purple's turning into my favorite color. What other pen did I not test? This one. I'll just write my name again. Pratik Presents. Yeah, that color looks really good. Actually, this might be my favorite color. This kind of dark dull green, but it's kind of sharp. Wow, that might be my favorite. So that and the purple are my favorite. Don't you guys agree? Wow, what a color palette. So I'm sure the pink looks amazing, but I'm gonna save that because I ran out of maybe 9 pink pens in 2 years. I like writing journals in pink. It looks nice. Yeah, I'll keep these in my pocket. Where's the best place to remember? Because I do be needing to take notes sometimes. And like I said, I'm running out of space for that. So, no, I was worried because I don't have a page in that notebook for where I wrote down TV Fights episode 8. I don't need to do that right now. Let me focus on 6 and 7 first. 8 should really come in May. And yeah, no, I could get 6 and 7 done by this month. I think I really could at this rate. If you think about it, it took me it felt like 25 minutes to film Breaking Bad review, 15 minutes of footage, cut down to 5-minute review. Heck yeah. That took 25 minutes it felt like. And then the Full House review felt like it took about half an hour. Yeah, I started with 27 minutes of footage on my camera. I ended up with 5 minutes of footage. So yeah, it was like 30 minutes of filming, right? Yeah, so an hour to film TV fights. Just have to make sure my notes are well prepared, that I'm in a good place. That's the reason why they take a month at a time, 4 weeks at a time to finish a TV fights. Because I really like making sure that I'm saying everything I want to say. Even though I know I could review the shows again for season 2 next year. But why I'm not even thinking about next year. I actually am like 2 episodes, right? I know I'm gonna do a Drake and Josh versus iCarly in season 2, and I'll say this because I probably won't say this for a while, and I do think it'll come true. Probably It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Abbott Elementary. I've been getting into Abbott Elementary. It's a good show. Kind of binge watched it in over the couple weeks. Can't really think of any episodes that I want to rewatch, but I should rewatch it tonight because I can't find many shows that are not necessarily my type of humor, but that I appreciate. But yeah, I do laugh at that show, even though I would have never thought of a show like that being my type of humor on the surface. But you know what it is about Abbott Elementary that I like is that for years since after I graduated high school, literally in 2018, and college after some years of college experience, I have had so many recurring dreams, almost all the time about school. All right, thankfully not in recent few days, it feels like, but these recurring dreams have been all the time that I'm back in school, as if I never left school. That's how realistic these night dreams feel. And I can count, it feels like it's been a few days since I've had a school dream. But yeah, Abbott Elementary feels like someone's or a bunch of people's ideal school dream. It was Quinta Bronson's show, so learning that was interesting. Yeah, it doesn't feel nothing. I don't feel any. I have nothing against it. Yeah, good characters, like very likable character, very likable teachers. Yeah, empowering and representative. I guess that matters. Inclusive, yes, all those things. But see, you guys know me, or a little bit at least. You know, I don't really care that much about talking about those kinds of subjects like inclusivity. However, you can see that type of theme even in shows like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which I'm going to talk about. So yes, like I don't mind it in Abbott Elementary. Like it's just people trying to do their job, and their principal sucks, but we like the principal anyway. But she walks a fine line between being a bad, unqualified, terrible principal. But you're like, yeah, she's doing what she's doing. She's a good principal. She's fine. She's keeping things running, and she's doing some really good things, but also could be better, and also oblivious to a lot of things. But yeah, you sympathize with, like, when I saw Ava at first, I was like, oh, this character is gonna get fired like halfway through the season or something. Then I find out she's still in season 4 when I was watching the Always Sunny collab episode. Because typically when I find a sitcom, I don't like watching shows in order. So typically if I find a sitcom that I like, which it's been years that I did, I will watch episodes out of order if I feel like it. If I find episode titles that I feel like stand out, and I didn't, and I realized it made Abbott made a collab with episode with Always Sunny, and you're like, those shows have nothing after watching. You're like, why did these shows collab? Why did they cross over? All they have in common is Philadelphia. That's it. That's all the shows have in common. The fact that they work together confirms it's like respect amongst writers. That means like Quinta Brunson is obviously cool with Always Sunny writers because they're very liberal. They stand up for their like sort of political left-wing stuff I've seen in previous years over Twitter and stuff, and for good cause. They're not idiots like their characters, I'm sure. And in fact, that makes me want to go back and rewatch some like interviews with the Always Sunny cast just to tell like what they're like in real life. Because I know that seeing from their Twitter years ago. So I used to know about the show way more about 10 years ago. Haven't been watching it in recent years, but yeah, what I've been rewatching it recently though, after years, and these are terrible characters, of course. We sympathize with Charlie a lot. Love that a character, and I love that name back then. That's why I named my cat that, after Charlie from Always Sunny and after Charlie from Charlie McDonald from YouTube. Um, Anyway, and then Mac, you also almost kind of sympathize with. Not all the time, because Mac also doesn't care about a lot of stuff. And yeah, just bad attitude. No, Mac is not a good character. But sometimes you do comparatively have more sympathy towards Mac and Charlie, if not definitely Charlie. Only thing against Charlie is his stalking, but that was like 10 years ago, 20 years ago now, literally. His stalking was like 20 years ago now. So Mac and Charlie, you have kind of sympathy towards. Even Frank, somehow you have some sympathy towards, because he's paying for everything. And has some crazy lines. Oh man, I can't get through some episodes sometimes, like the recent one. But no, the recent one where he pretends to be in a coma just to show off just to show the power of cake technology. That was a brilliant, funny joke. I don't know, brilliant, but to me that was a freaking amazing. Cake. Is it cake? Is it fake or cake? And Deesh thinks he kept a drawing. Oh, that's catharsis. A different level of catharsis as Breaking Bad, a different level of catharsis as seeing the drama in Keeping Up with the Kardashians, which I'm going to talk about. Anyway, what the hell was I talking about? I totally forgot what I was talking about there. All right, I genuinely don't remember what I was just talking about. Short-term memory loss. I'm not gonna remember again. You know those moments where you forget something that was important and you really regret it? I know I'm not gonna regret this short-term memory loss, but you guys know those moments. I remember those moments like I was a kid where I forget a really good idea that I was having. But I'm not gonna even think about it because I know I'm gonna probably rewatch the stream at some point. So I'm just gonna move on to. I feel like I was talking about the Kardashians. I don't know what notes I wrote off the top of my head about that show. Oh yeah, that people don't really change, which I kind of want to. I used to think about that. Do we change, or can yeah, we can change, but then go back to different qualities that we used to. I don't know. Some people don't change it. Yeah, some people never change, but some people probably do change and go back. That's kind of what I think. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna watch some Laurel and Hardy. That's not television, is it? It's more like short movies. Oh yeah, Skylar said that she publishes short stories. What happened to that? That would have been interesting to expand upon. In episode 2 of, yeah, it was in episode 2, right? Skylar tells Marie, Marie's like, hey, didn't you used to write novels? She's like, no, short stories, yeah. But maybe if you expand into novels, it would sell more. I think Marie says that to her. Why did they ever expand on that? That would have been really cool. What the heck, Vince Gilligan? That's like me making a show, having a character is like, yeah, I have a whole YouTube account where I edit tons of music videos, tons of short films, magical, theatrical, Michael Jackson-esque reviews and dance moves, and then never bring it up again. They never brought up. I'm sure it took Skylar like a good chunk of her life, probably years, to write short stories and get them published. who just casually does short stories, gets short stories published on the site. I mean, you know what I mean? You would want to, it's something that people put years into, that they see as an art form, that is their life calling. That's at least what I feel like gets published. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe some people are just writers as a side thing, and then they just forget about it. They're like, oh yeah, I just had short stories published once. Don't know if I'd ever do it. No, I feel like people would do that for years of their life, and it would like be like a significant fraction of their time, enough to be able to mention it again. The fact that they get short stories published, not just, oh yeah, I write short stories, I send them to my friends. No, she said published. Did they ever bring that up again? I kind of have to look that up right now, don't I? Whoa, mind blown. Meta theory, metafiction. Breaking Bad is Skylar's short stories. No, it's just a theory. But it's kind of mind blowing. It is pretty mind blowing. It's also pretty funny. I wouldn't attack it as stupid. I'm sure people that like to put down like conspiracy type thinkers like to sort of be like, yeah, this is brain dead logic. But no. Breaking Bad is Skylar's short stories. No, I don't know, because not a lot of it is from her perspective. But what am I talking about? Yeah. I want to see how many mentions there are. You have to be a I feel like you don't have to be a published writer to sell on eBay. You know? Do you? All right. Should I take a break so I can go watch this Breaking Bad video where Skylar tells like a short story, essentially, is what people are linking this to. I thought it would be by this other account. Yeah, let me go do that. Sit over there and do that, and then come right back. Yeah, I only needed to watch about 30 seconds of that to be able to tell you guys, heck yes, you guys, F yes, you guys. Oh my goodness. So the elaborateness, the way she's telling the story while while trying to create a organized system for himself. I only watched about 40 seconds. Oh, it's so crafty. Oh, I'm gonna watch the whole thing at some point. Whoa, I forgot about the nuance to Skylar's character. I just remember having sympathy for her, at least in season one. But yeah, there and Anna Gunn did deserve to win the Emmy for Ozymandias, which she did, and the drowning scene in season five. Yeah, the rest of the time, kind of a bitch. Kind of like just kind of feels kind of harsh. But the time she feels like she's in danger from Walt, now that people have pointed that out, do make me see a new nuance to that. She some scenes she's clearly very very uncomfortable for good reason with what Walt is doing, hurting people and doing it all in the name of family. Um, and he gets off on that. Yeah, yeah. There's definitely an element to that. And almost this goes over viewers like me's head when we're kids watching Breaking Bad. You're like, oh, this is just a casual scene in the progression of Walt doing good in the meth business, feeling good about himself. Just Skylar seems a little scared. Nope, Skylar, yeah, we grow to feel the same, similar to, yeah, yeah. The way Skylar and but other elements of Skylar helping the transformation of Walt into Heisenberg. Ooh, I really thought about bringing up Walt making Jesse kill Gale because he was never the same after that. I don't know if I want to show that on B-roll, even though I love that episode. I should open my lunch. I got Qdoba. There's a new Qdoba near me. Yay. I thought before the nearest one was like 17 minutes. I love Qdoba. So, heck, yes. I got a burrito, steak. The burrito that Tuco cooked in season 2, episode 1 or something, when he has Walt and Jesse in his house. The burrito that Tuco cooked, that looks good. That looks freaking good, right? Wait, I did talk about the part where we um humanize with Tuco. I didn't talk that much about Gus. I think I only mentioned Gus once, and yeah, the two main bad Tuco. Yeah, Tuco to me was the best bad guy. People might agree that Emilio, even though he was, so I've heard one person say Emilio is their favorite. Not Emilio, Crazy Eight. The guy, yeah, Emilio, because he was the drug dealer that then got killed. Crazy Eight was the snitch. I wish I could elaborate on the word intense when I was saying that word. Because that's the best way I can think of to describe that show. Ooh. Do I have a Dr. Pepper? I don't want to drink that Bob Ross drink at $2. I'll take another sip. Yeah, it didn't taste as much like a sugary shot as the last time I sipped it. But yeah, like the sweet type of flavor going into it, not the aftertaste, literally the opposite, the going into it taste. Reminds me of a cocktail, reminds me of alcohol. So, yeah, I don't know. Does it have alcohol? I kind of want to verify. I don't think it does. I feel like because They did have an option there. I mean, it is pretty much a cocktail mix because I said it tastes like Torani Red Bull, and so it's pretty much like a cocktail mix. But I did also see a Simpsons Duff drink. The beer is called Duff in Simpsons, right? It was a Duff can, yeah, and it was just an orange flavor. It wasn't alcoholic, so I assumed that's what non-alcoholic beer was. I was thinking of buying that one, but then I thought it might make me want actual beer. I've never cared to try non-alcoholic beer. I'm like, why don't I have the actual thing? But no, this reminds me of what a non-alcoholic beer might taste like if I saw a Duff can right next to it and I was gonna buy it in that weird Five Below. I love this can. Bob Ross, dude. Dude, I want to keep this can in a video now. It's a good looking can. Dude, are you kidding? And now I kind of want to go buy the Duff beer, non-alcoholic beer. And I don't even like this drink. The capitalism. The hypnosis of capitalism. The hypnosis of marketing. All right. Anyway, let me hit the bathroom real quick. All right. I'm thinking that I end the stream right now and then stream later when I'm gonna film. I like doing this, but should I end the stream because I do want to continue editing. I don't know how long I spent editing this. Felt like 25 minutes or some shit. But of course, I have the other edits to do. But those edits, the B-roll, the footage of Breaking Bad, that could get me copyright when I'm streaming it. Probably couldn't. Maybe I don't want to risk it because I think showing footage like that kind of is like waving a flag at copyright bots over stream. So don't want to do that. I didn't show anything on stream that could have been like that. I would have gotten an email about it. I don't have my email open. Let me check real quick. And I should do a little bit of studying because I have a class test. I have a test, sociology test on Wednesday, so I should probably do some studying. Got a 90 on my last test. Good job, Pratik. I should do some more reading. I got a notification from YouTube. Let's see what it says. Oh, it's about Euphoria season 3. Good. Good. Thank you. It wasn't anything else than that. Alrighty, you guys. So the edits that I do have to do, yeah. I like talking out this process. I feel like I'm getting better at it. Might be a bit boring, I don't know, but I'll do it again. I'll see you guys soon. Like I said, getting TV Fight 7, no, this is 5. After being halfway there, reference to that Big Time Rush song and episode, which I don't know where Big Time Rush is anymore on streaming. Can anyone tell me? Is it just Amazon or something? Halfway there. Yeah. And now, episode 5, just need to put some pictures, images, video over my video. Because it needs it. So yeah, we're going to take a break. And I'll check in with you guys pretty soon. Can't wait